gotten so many questions on my Mama Jems Jewels review, and I also the person that makes this brand, she's on Etsy, and she messaged me, and she was like, basically she was really sorry that I didn't like her pads, and asked me if maybe I would give a longer pad a try. So I did. I decided to get one of her 12-inch pads, and she did change just a few things. Basically, it's kind of like a custom pad, and she told me to try it out and see if I liked it better. And this pad I actually really like. She put the snap, because I know I complained about the snap. I said I wanted one right in the middle of where the other two were. So she put the snap right in the middle of where she usually does, and it's just one snap. And then she did not do the stitching down the middle. So I think that really helped out a lot. This pad is 12 inches long. It's 3.5 inches wide on each end, and then 3 inches wide in the middle. So this is definitely a bigger pad than the first 3 I had bought from her. And I will say, I like this pad a zillion times better. I am definitely going to be buying more of these. I think it's like a really good pad for postpartum and overnight. I wore this twice, and the first time, and thankfully, I know this sounds really weird, I was so happy to get this while I still had my period, so I could try it out right away. And the first time I wore it, I just wore it around the house, because for me, this pad is just a little too long to be wearing out, but that's perfectly fine. There's very few pads I will wear out, just because I like a 10-inch really thin pad when I go out. And that's perfectly fine, because this pad, just for staying around the house, it was amazing. And then the next time I wore it overnight, because I was having the period from hell, basically. I had a really heavy period this time, and it lasted a little bit longer than usual. So I was kind of surprised, but I don't know. This pad held up amazingly, and I will say this one definitely does conform better than her smaller pads. And another thing, I complained about the softness with the smaller pads, but when I decided to give this longer pad a try, I did research, because I was like, I had seen so many other people, not so many, a few other people do reviews on this brand, and theirs look so soft and so like very movable and all that, and I had no idea how they did it. So after doing lots of research, I decided, I had heard on like 3 different sites that you need to prep suede cloth a little bit differently, and I didn't know that before. I just prepped it like I do my normal pads, and obviously that did not work out well. So I decided to wash them 7 times, and yeah, that's a lot, 7 times on really hot water. Before, I had just washed them twice on, it's basically a lukewarm water, because we have a whole lot of like water temperature settings on our washer, and that usually works really great for all of my other pads. But for suede cloth, I really do think it requires the hot water. You will notice after washing these in hot water right here, they look so much better. They're not as neat. Like, this part did kind of get, I don't know, a little wrinkly, but I don't mind at all, because they do conform so much better now. So I think part of that was my fault, because I didn't know how to prep the suede cloth. I assumed it would be just like all of my other cloth pads, and I assumed very wrongly. So I do like these better. I ended up giving the other one away that had, you know, the really off top stitching, or not even top stitching, really off stitching at the top. Just because I know a lot of you said it's just cosmetic and it doesn't really affect the pad. And you are right, it is just cosmetic. But to me, I like really pretty pads. I feel like, yeah, it doesn't really affect the absorbency, but I think if you're going to pay, and these pads aren't very expensive, but I think if you're going to pay for an item, it should look nice. I don't know how else to say that. So, and I do think it was just that one pad. I think that was really a flaw because I have not seen on any of the other reviews I've watched, or in the photos of her pads, I've not really seen one like that. So I think that was just like a fluke that I ended up getting. Because this one, I mean, it's so much better. I love this pad. I have nothing bad to say about this one, and I do like my other ones a lot better now that they are softer. Even though they're only 8.5 inches long and 2.5 inches wide when snapped. So I was kind of surprised at how small they were. So for me, I would only wear this on a light day just because I like having kind of that extra inch of coverage, but this would work really great on a light day. And even though this is like a heavy pad, it's still pretty thin. And this held up great. So that is my updated review of Mama Jewel's Jems. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to message me, and I will put her link in the down bar. Bye, guys!